Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good morning, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great Thursday so far. The city of Grand Rapids is once again holding its outdoor workout classes all summer long, all across the city. And joining us today to talk a little bit more about the program is John Judnich. He is the recreation supervisor over at the city of Grand Rapids' Parks and Recreation Department. John, thank you so much for being here today. Good morning.
Thanks, Phil. Looking forward to it.
Yes, no, the pleasure's all ours, really talking about these outdoor summer classes. I found it very interesting when I first heard about how these programs sort of come about and how you guys put them on, and especially, you know, I'm assuming taking advantage of the nice weather here in Grand Rapids as well and having these sort of classes. How did this idea really come about?
So it started a number of years ago, and it was part of activating downtown. It was a part of a way to find people, another way to get fit and be active. And it all started at Rosa Parks Circle probably at least 15 years ago. We did one class a week. It was free, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And it really created some activation, not for a full night, but it got people downtown. Some people came after work. Some people intentionally came in for the class. And the nice part, it's free, as all the classes continue to be free. So there was no barriers for folks. And then over the years, it just kind of built up into what we now have as a regular series each summer, and sponsors that provide it, and a variety of classes, right from morning to midday to evening. And the difference here recently is expanding into neighborhood parks as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I really do like the idea of it just kind of exploding with more and more people trying to take advantage and giving everybody sort of the opportunity, no matter what your work schedule might be or what you're planning on doing. There's always a time throughout the summer to maybe get in one of those classes at least once during the week. But John, you know, kind of just talking about those classes, there's several of them. There's Zumba classes, there's yoga classes, there's HIIT workouts. What are some of these workouts that are a part of the program this year, this summer, and how did that sort of decision come about? Was it sort of just hearing from the community about what they kind of wanted to participate in?
So what a lot of folks don't know, Phil, is we have one of the biggest programs that Grand Rapids Parks and Rec offer is adult fitness classes. We have multiple sites, and it's year round. The summer tends to be higher profile because it's nice weather and we're outside in these parks. And Midwest folks, obviously this time of the year, we've been praying, I guess, for spring and summer, and it hasn't happened, and it's going to happen now. And this is kind of a part of that. But it gives folks that chance to be in parks and get outside. The expansion, I think, is exactly what you said. We've heard feedback from participants. The nice part is if you do take part in an outdoor class, you have the opportunity to continue with us with that same instructor and maybe that same class indoors throughout the year. So it gives folks that chance to continue if they liked it. And the beautiful part about it being free and 5 days a week is you can try multiple different classes. If you don't like something, try a different one. And if you like it, you kind of stick with it, and then you have that opportunity to kind of keep going. But big part of it, Phil, is some neighborhood associations reaching out to us and say, can you do a class in our neighborhood? For example, Cherry Park, this year, it's the first time we're doing a class in Cherry Park for that neighborhood. Class sizes too will range from 30 people up to 100 to 120 people. So all different sizes and a variety, and people can kind of blend in and feel very comfortable when they are participating.
Mm-hmm. And that's got to feel good knowing that some of these neighborhoods are reaching out to you guys and asking to host these events, you know, as it's starting to expand and get a lot more popular.
It is, and it's just folks, and I think some folks from maybe outside of that neighborhood, because they like the class or the instructor, they now can maybe experience a different neighborhood in Grand Rapids that they haven't been to because they're going to an outdoor fitness class in that area. So one of the neat things we're doing this year, and we did it in the past, but we've expanded it. We actually have 3 classes on our pool decks. So we have 3 outdoor swimming pools. MLK, Richmond, and Briggs Parks. When open swim closes on a certain night, we then have a class that's going to be on the pool deck. So that we're trying to use and be creative with some of our facilities that we have in the park system.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, talking about some of the instructors in this class, obviously that's going to be a big part of people's enjoyment in these classes is just kind of having an instructor that can kind of guide them and, you know, is fun to work out with. How is that sort of decided? Who are these instructors? How did they sort of come about in joining the program?
Yeah, all of the instructors are employees of the Parks and Rec department, and as I mentioned earlier, they're teaching for us year round. They may teach 1 or 2 classes a week. Some teach 3 or 4 classes a week, but a majority of our instructors teach 1 or 2 classes a week, and then we usually will then move them into a summer position that they likely will teach one outdoor class. And as I mentioned earlier, we really love the consistency that instructor then is available to also teach throughout the year. But all of them are certified instructors. We have a staff of 20 to 25 that is on our payroll each year. Some of them are just subs for us, but yeah, so we have a full staff that works. We'll teach classes year round.
Mm-hmm. And can you just touch on the importance of these classes? Obviously, everybody hears it on the news, everybody kind of sees it in person, just, everybody kind of, the obesity rate's going up and people maybe don't have the time or the energy to go out. What is something like this where people can enjoy the outdoors, get in, about a 45-minute class in downtown Grand Rapids or maybe even in their neighborhood, their own neck of the woods? What is so important about offering these opportunities to residents in Grand Rapids?
I think one of the most important things that our department does is offer opportunities for people to be active, right? Whether it's a walk in a park or a structured class like this is, or a league or a sport, there's nothing more important that we can do, because you hit it. The obesity rates are not going down for adults and kids. And opportunities like this, especially if it's a neighborhood park right down the street, and it's free of charge and it's a high quality instructor. So that benefit is hard to measure. We have 2 wonderful partners too that I just want to mention, Phil. DGRI and Priority Health provide funding that we can do this, that makes these classes free. And then the accessible portion, some people, the nice part about the accessibility is if you work downtown, you likely will have a class that you can go to right after work. And then you reach out or you see all the other neighborhood classes, very easy to get to. Some people we see will take their bike to class and then bike back home or bike back to work. So that's neat that it creates even another opportunity to be active, especially in the summer months.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And John, we do appreciate you coming on the live disc today. But, a lot of people are probably a little curious. You touched on a little bit earlier about how these classes are free for everybody in Grand Rapids to attend, as many as they'd like throughout the summer months. They begin on May 15th and last through September 1st. John, we want to turn it over to you. Why should people take advantage of these opportunities, and also how can they?
So the best way, if you're wondering what the full schedule is, we have 16 classes that are going to happen each week, starting, as you mentioned, the week of May 15th. On the Grand Rapids Parks Facebook page, on our website, you can get a sense when they are. You don't have to come all the time. The beautiful part is there's no commitment on your part. There's no money. You don't have to sign up for something and come for 6 or 8 or 10 weeks. You come when you want. We think when you come to, and most of the classes, many of them are structured that you will enjoy what you're doing. A lot of them are, we hear from participants, it's fun to do them. A lot of them are dance related and your incorporated fitness. So you kind of got 2 components there where you're enjoying it, and you're likely going to meet a whole new group of people that you haven't met before, especially if it's a neighborhood park, right? You're going to meet neighbors that you haven't met before. So I think there's emotional benefits, there's physical benefits. The accessibility piece that we talked before is, it's free. Right? You just have to get there. And the beautiful part that we offer as a big part of this is if you like what you're doing, if you like the class, if you like the instructor, you can continue to do that as you get into the fall and the winter months. You can continue and then hopefully come back next summer and see it again. I guess the last thing I'll say, Phil, is know that some of our classes are the same ones each year because they're kind of our staple classes. And then we've added some new ones in as well. And you mentioned a couple of them. We're doing line dancing for the first time, set to different genres on Briggs Park Pool Deck. That's brand new this year. Cherry Park is brand new this year. And a lot of the downtown locations, the Blue Bridge and 555 Monroe will have classes as well. And those are all very high profile areas. And yet some of the neighborhood settings are a little bit more personal if that's what your preference is.
Mm-hmm. Right, fantastic stuff, John. We really appreciate you coming on. I do want to remind everybody watching that if you're curious about learning a little bit more regarding these classes happening all summer long in the city of Grand Rapids, you can definitely find all of the information you need, including a full list of these and schedule of all of these different classes. That can all be found right now over on our website, woodtv.com. If you're watching us on Facebook, just head on down to the comment section or the description box. You will be able to find a link to that specific story there. John, once again, thank you so much for coming on the live desk today. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
And I want to thank everybody else for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.